I believe it was the band The Who that said, "Who are you?" You ever ask yourself that question? Who? Well, why are the reasons that we look, act, or say something just like our parents isn't really a great mystery. But beyond the genetics and physical characteristics that we actually inherit, there are also patterns of thoughts, feelings, and behavior called emotional DNA. So does this mean we're destined to be carbon copies of our parents or grandparents? Well, our next guest, Judy Wilkins Smith, she's the author of the book, Decoding Your Emotional Blueprint, joining us right now to talk about this interesting concept and might help you get a little direction in your life. Judy, welcome to the show. I want to start off with like an example where we can use this as a base. So let's say your parent or maybe your grandparent was a very successful entrepreneur. Does that actually help us or hinder us in our own success?
It depends on what you start telling yourself. So it should help you, but many of us are so used to the idea because we were raised that way that I've got to suffer and it's all about not doing so well that we go the other end and go, well, he was successful, but it skipped me.
Okay.
Not true. If you key into that and go, yeah, I see that and I can use that, then what you do is you key your brain into that pattern of thoughts, feelings, and actions. And yes, you can use it really well.
Okay. Well, that leads us to the questions of like, how do we actually identify the patterns or maybe the emotional habits or attitudes that we've actually brought in from our parents and grandparents and work them into our lives? How do we do that?
So very easy ways. The things that frustrate you the most, where you're the most dogmatic, where you get annoyed quickly, where you suddenly find yourself reacting disproportionately to an event. Those are all indications or clues that there is a pattern sitting in the system. Conversely, you also have where you're really drawn to something. That may be in the system, or there is a pattern that's telling you, I need to emerge through you. We need to rest this pattern, this old pattern. It doesn't work anymore. Now it's your turn to add something. Okay. So that's where you start to look for them. And easy places for you to look at that are, what do you tell yourself about money, relationships, leadership, career? Where did that come from? What are the thoughts? What are the feelings? What are the actions? When did that start for you? Where did it come from? Are you sure it's yours or are you borrowing it from somebody else?
Ah, yeah, that makes sense. So it sounds like you have to sit down and do kind of like an emotional inventory or maybe just a characteristic inventory of yourself, kind of write it out. Or should you pay attention to what other people are saying? Like, you do this a lot. Is that what we need to do?
Yeah, you should, because people are giving you feedback all the time. Yeah. But the other thing is you're actually tattling on yourself and your system all day long. You're saying things that people go, what? Why do you say that? That's really odd. So idiosyncratic language or idiosyncratic reactions are another way to look for it. But when you write it down, you'll begin to see very quickly that, oh, money. Yeah, money doesn't grow on trees. Mom said that. Dad said that. Okay. Grandpa said that. But there was another one who said, hey, you can do stuff with money. And you look at that and go, well, this scarcity is not working for me. I think I'll have a look at that one, or I'm starting my own pattern. So you're either reacting to or in collusion with the system.
All right, what about the people? There are going to be people that they can't really follow their ancestry. Maybe they're adopted or maybe their parents died young. Can they still actually learn from this?
Absolutely.
Explain that, then how?
Yeah, timeline it. All you do is sit down and timeline your own life.
Okay.
What are the events? What were your actions? What were your reactions? What did you tell yourself about that? What did you make it mean about you? What did you make it mean about others? How has that become a pattern that's then migrated into a mindset that's become the truth? Only we discover more and more that the truth is really just your truth.
Yes.
And you can change it anytime you want to.
I love that. Yeah. And that goes, yeah, like anybody, that can happen to anybody whatsoever. And it would seem like those that are searching to find out more about their parents, maybe their parents died when they were young, this could be a way for them to actually learn more. It's like, well, I must have gotten that from my parents or from my grandparents or something along those lines. So it actually could provide relief.
Absolutely, or even adoptees, because I work with a lot of adoptees, and they say, well, I got nothing. Yeah, you did. Yeah. Where did your quirky sense of humor come from? Why are your eyes brown and the rest of your families are blue? You got a lot. We've got to start telling ourselves and looking for what we've got, not what we don't have.
Oh, mercy.
And I think the other thing that's super important is to realize that in every situation, Mitch, no matter how bad, it's there to wake you up and say, take a look, I have a gift for you. And
Nice.
when we look at life that way, it's a lot easier.
It seems like everybody can learn some of this to find out more about their emotional DNA and such. Where can we go if we want to find out more information or actually get a copy of your book?
Sure. So Judy Wilkins-Smith.com. They can find out all about me there, the live events and everything that's happening.
Okay.
And the book you can find on any of the good booksellers, Barnes & Noble, Amazon. There are a bunch of them.
All right, very
It's
good.
all over.
Judy Wilkins-Smith, thank you so much for joining us today, and we're going to learn more about our emotional DNA as well. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Mitch. It was fun.